In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a multilingual section or part of your Joomla site without fully converting or translating your whole site. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too, and thanks for tuning in to Watch Me Work live stream number 48 here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel. And thank you for joining in today. If you're watching, please say hi in chat and give this video a like. Maybe it'll draw the attention of other people. Maybe Google will be happy, and the algorithm will direct others to watch this. Plus, it's also encouraging. So, as I mentioned, just checking, is that camera moving? No, it's kind of, oh, maybe it is. I think the wire's rubbing on a screen here when I move the screen. Anyways, so here's the situation. The other day, I had a client who is hosting just on one part of their site a course that is in Spanish. And so, of course, the login information and all the menus and everything for the whole site is in English. But I got to thinking, well, how can I make that site just have a little Spanish area? Now, I could turn on the multilingual features in Joomla and have a language selector, but none of the other site is in Spanish, and it's not going to be in Spanish in any time soon. Hey, Brian. And so I thought, I just want this one section. How can I do that? Because if you turn on multilingual features in Joomla, if you make it a multilingual site, you end up with /en for English or in all of your URLs. And I didn't want to do that for my client because I think it was more than they were bargaining for. And anyways, so today I'm going to show you how I create a little section in another language. And also, I just want to say at the beginning, there might be a better way to do this, but it's a way that I did it. And excuse me, that's what Watch Me Work live stream is all about. I'll show you how I do stuff. And if you've got suggestions or I'm missing something, then whatever, because that's great. I'm glad to hear it because I don't know everything. My personal well-being as a human being is not wrapped up in knowing everything in Joomla and being the best at it. So let's head on over to the site. I've not yet picked the giveaway winner for this month. I will get to that very soon, I promise. And we'll let you know on the newsletter, because that is now how, let me just get this shaking problem gone here. Okay, because that is how you can enter the giveaways now. Just sign up for the newsletter. You'll be entered every month and save lots of time that way. All right, so let's go into the back end of this site where I'm already at. And the first thing that I want to let you know is that, oh, look, a bunch of extensions that need to be updated. First thing I want to let you know is that the method that I'm using uses ReReplacer from Regular Labs, and it uses the Pro version. So for some of you might think, oh, you just want to use free extensions or you don't want to buy extensions. Just watch anyways to see what that extension does and how powerful it is. And I would say, especially if you are working on sites for clients, then it's definitely worth getting the paid version of some extensions that you need, because it helps things go faster, and just charge your clients for the service of setting it up. And in fact, you may have to charge by the job because you get things done so much quicker than doing it another way. You're technically saving your client money, depending on how much you charge them. So anyways, all right, let me just bring up chat here again. So Regular Labs ReReplacer. Let's talk about what ReReplacer does, and then you'll see how I used it for making this multi-language area in my site. Let's go to Components and Regular Labs ReReplacer. Just install it through the Install from Web tab. But of course, I did mention that you want to use the Pro version for this, and you'll see why in a second. What ReReplacer does is it looks in articles, it looks in places on your website for certain texts, certain tags, or whatever you create, and when it sees those, it replaces them with something else. So why don't we just as a quick demonstration, I'm going to add a new, I'll just do something on the front page here. Watch this. Here's the front page, and let's say this text, Joomla. Hey there, Joomla fans. I'm a Joomla fan too. So in Replacer, I'm going to create an instance where anywhere where it says Joomla fan, it will search for Joomla fan, and it will replace with, let's just do this, fanatics. All right. We need to give this just a title for the list of the ReReplacer items, ReReplacer demo. All right. So it's going to look for anywhere that it says Joomla fan and replace with Joomla fanatics. There's tons of options, but we're just going to save this. Use Regular Labs cache cleaner, so the cache is cleaned automatically. Now you see, hey there Joomla fans, Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. When we refresh that, it says, hey there Joomla fanatics with an extra S. I'm a Joomla fanatics too. All right, so obviously there's some tweaking and fine tuning to be done there. You know, for instance, I would go back in here and take off the end. And maybe if I only want to replace the plural, I would say Joomla fans. All right. So it will only replace Joomla fans and not fan, which means I could put the S back in there, save, and we're just going to go refresh. This is a very powerful extension because if you wanted, let's suppose your company's name was, basic Joomla, and you were changing it to basic Joomla out of this world. You could find and you could re-replace throughout your whole site right away, and it would only appear with your new name. Now you probably would want to do a database replace on that, but anyways, you could let your mind go with all the possibilities that you could use ReReplacer for. Did I refresh this page here? So see, hey there Joomla fanatics, Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too, so we corrected that. So, understanding how ReReplacer works, let's take a look at what I did for my client site. Now, what I wanted to was something separate for them to be able to log in and to give the URL. I got to close something here that's going to be clicking in the background and making noise on this. Anyway, so I wanted to give them a login page. So that's what I did. Let's close. All right, so first I wanted to create a unique login module. I have Community Builder installed on this site. And so when we go to extensions and modules and search for log, let's go log. I have CB login and login. So you could do this without Community Builder login. You could just simply use the login module that comes with Joomla, the core. But I'm going to do it with CB login just so we don't get any surprises along the way and that it works. Yeah, Brian says he has to try ReReplacer. He hasn't tried it yet. Yes, it is great for a number of things. So I'm going to click on CB login. And I'm going to duplicate it. Whoops, duplicate. No, see, now this is what happens when I go live, right? Duplicate entry 166.0 for key primary. Something is up. All right, we'll just try. Okay, I did create it. Something goofy happened there, but it is there, so let's go with that. I'll look into that later on. Now, instead of CB login 2, I'm going to call this CB login Spanish. In fact, yeah, and I'll just leave the CB in there as a reminder that this will look a little bit different than if you're using the login module. Now, I will save. Oh, and so I'm going to just save that name change. Now, over here, I'm going to create a position, a module position for this, so that it shows up nowhere. And I'm going to call this SPANISHLOGIN. Spanish login. And just by hitting enter, I make that position and I'm going to publish it. Now that position exists nowhere in any of my Joomla templates. And so now I know for sure that it's not showing up anywhere on the site. Now I have all the options of this custom login that I can interact with. So we have assignments, which they're not going to worry about in this, notes, permissions, login and logout options. And so about encryption and different things. You go through the options, whatever login form you're using, you can go and look. What's most important is that you can have a login redirection URL. And you can also, so once someone logs in, it will take them to a page. And then also when they log out, it will take them also to a page. We'll be filling that out later on. But for now, what we've done is we've created a Spanish, just a login module called Spanish. I don't even have a language to Spanish to assign to it. Anyway, so let's, I've already saved it, but I'll save it and close it. Next, we're going to create a unique page that people wanting to log into can go, people who speak Spanish can go to log in, or whatever we're directing them to. So I'm going to go to Content, Articles, and add a new article. I'll open it in a new tab. And I'm just going to call this Spanish Login. And what I'm going to do is now, down here in the text, welcome to the site. Please, welcome to the site. I would just do that. And now I'm going to go down and I'm going to insert a module into this article. And to do that, I'm going to use this module button. I think there's a core module button in the in Joomla. There's a way to do this. I'm using Regular Labs extension manager, Regular Labs advanced module manager, so you get that button there. But there's a way to do that in the core, and maybe we'll take a look at that afterwards. The basic principle is you want to embed the new login module that you've just created on this article. So I select that, and there's CB login Spanish, and I'm going to center it, and I will then, I don't need to assign it any, oh no, because this is an article. All I need to do is save this, and when we preview this page, the Spanish login, this is what we get. Spanish login, welcome to the site, CB login Spanish, and there's the different things. Look, forgot login, sign up, remember me, login. Now, that's really not a Spanish login, is it? I've just called something a Spanish login. But look what you can do now with ReReplacer. I'm going to select login Spanish. Now, I could change the name actually in the module, so I won't do a ReReplacer, but let's take a look at this. Let's look at Remember Me. This button for remembering me, if you check it. I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to go to Google Translate. And I'm going to paste the English in there. I want Spanish, and there it is. However you would pronounce that. I won't try to pronounce that. Well, maybe I will later on. But now I can go back to Components, ReReplacer, and I can create a new item to replace. And I'm going to tell it to search anywhere that it sees Remember Me and replace it with this Spanish. I'll copy that. Now here's what's key. This would replace Remember Me on the entire site as it is set up right now. It would replace it with the Spanish. What you want to do is assign this ReReplacer item to where you want it to be replaced. So I'm going to click Publishing Assignments. I'm going to go down, scroll down to Joomla Content, and I'm going to select Article. Include here, and I'm going to pick, in this case, as I filter log, there it is, Spanish, excuse me, Spanish login. So what I'm saying is that only on this particular page, anywhere that Remember Me is seen, replaced with this word. And as for the name up here, replace Remember Me, and I'm just going to put ES, the short form for Spanish. Okay. And now we will save that. Now check this out. We'll go back to that Spanish login page. Remember down here it says Remember Me. We refresh. And once that page refreshes, now we have the Spanish only on here. Now you could actually just have the standard login module for your site and embed it on this page and only translate it there. The only reason that I made a copy of that module is because I want to have different redirects to different locations for Spanish people once they log in. If I use the English one there and then used ReReplacer to change the text, it would basically redirect them to an English page. But now I want to create just a little area on my site in Spanish, as was the case with my client. One Spanish course, Spanish people only using one part of the site because it was a program that another organization was using. So they don't need to have access to the whole site, but it's just this one little area. And in fact, another example you could do is you could have a page on here that says, do you translate Spanish? They could click on it, and then they could just read this one language area, log in, and say, hey, here's what I'm looking for, someone to translate Spanish. Please contact me. Here's the information. Click here. You send them to another page, but you're not turning on translation for your whole site. So we just replace remember me here. That's why we change forgot login next. I'm going to go up to here, and I'm going to, okay, we already saved this. I'm going to save as a copy. And now we're going to go forgot login, Spanish, and we don't need that 2 at the end. And we'll go here, forgot login. And what is that in Spanish? We'll go to Google Translate. By the way, I think you all know not to be trusting Google Translate too much for a lot of translation, but I think this is close enough. Forgot login. Vide session. Well, that's probably more French. Anyways, so we will paste that there. And because we save this as a copy, the same publishing assignment is down here. All right, so we'll go close. Anyway, so we're going to save. Now we can go back. Not only is remember me going to be translated, but forgot login will be translated as well. And now you're doing some pretty simple stuff for translating this into Spanish for people to see when they log in. Now, you could do this with the whole page, or you could actually set this up even just translate the footer of the page. And again, eventually get to the point where you'd be creating so many ReReplacers, perhaps it reaches a point where this isn't the most efficient way to do it. But again, we're just looking at how to make a light multi-language or different language or added language area in your Joomla site. All right, so now we log in. Let's just log in. I'll log in as me. And when I log in, I'm taken to this particular page. That's probably perhaps profile is the default for Community Builder. I'm going to log out. And now let's go back to that Spanish login page. Okay. Let's create a unique page where people logging in who speak Spanish go to. So you've already somehow gotten a link to them for logging in. Let's go to Article Manager. And we could translate welcome to the site as well into Spanish. I won't do that right now. But now we're going to go and create an article, new. Let's call this Spanish landing page. You call it whatever you want. The only thing that I would suggest is do not call it any of the words that you're replacing in English or any of the phrases that you're placing in ReReplacer, because in the code where it says on login redirect to, and if it has those words, it will replace it and it will mess things up. So just try to stay clear. Don't use something that you're replacing in the name of these pages. So Spanish landing page, and let's just go up here. Let's type this in here. Welcome to this. Let's type in here. Okay, welcome to this limited Spanish area of the basic Joomla website. All right, Bienvenido a esta área limitado en español del sitio web básico de Joomla. All right. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to this article. I'm going to go Control V. Whoops. Let's go, let's see. If I go this Control V and select all of that and remove the formatting, yeah, I get okay, that breaks those lines. Now, if I want to add some styles to it or size here, we'll make it heading 2. And again, you get the idea. You could now post all of your instructions that you want your Spanish visitors to know after logging in. It could be anything, like using that other example. It could be, I'm looking to develop the Spanish area and translation of this entire website. Here's a few things I'd like you to know, and thanks for signing up. And here are links that you need to remember to send translations to me or whatever. You've made just that little area. Now, of course, if someone is translating from English to Spanish, they can read your English site. But I think, really what I want to demonstrate here is if you have the need to put something up in a different language and you need some people with a different language to log in, you can do this for a little area of your site. Now, I'm going to call, because this is sort of a landing page, and you might come up with a better name. In fact, let's do this. Welcome, Spanish speakers. I'm going to go to publishing, and I'm going to go to robots and say no index, no follow, because I do not want this showing up in search engines. So I'll save this, and I will open this up so I can copy the URL. Now I'm going to go back to the module. I better open that up again. Not there, not there. Okay, let's close that and go to extensions, modules. All right, we're going to CB login Spanish. And now, look, the login options. Login redirection URL. What page will the login redirect to after the login? After someone logs in, I want it to go to the Welcome Spanish Speakers page. So let's save that. We'll go back to this page and refresh. And now, and of course we haven't translated everything on this page. I'm going to log in. And when I do, I'll be redirected to the Spanish speakers login page. Now, the cool thing is that let's suppose that we now have a number of pages where we want to have our translation, our ReReplacer working. We can now go back to ReReplacer, to the publishing assignments, and we can add another article. We know landing is in that title, so there it is. Oh, you know what? I need to save this so these options refresh, I think. Let's go down here and to landing again. What is this? Okay, let's just double check here because we want to find out where it exists. Oh, I called it Welcome Spanish Speakers, of course. Speakers. There you go. Welcome Spanish Speakers. Now, this ReReplacer instance will work on both pages because I've selected both of them. Now, it might be easier to create a Spanish-speaking category. And then in that case, you could then assign these ReReplacer things to anything in the category here instead of hunting and pecking and selecting individual articles. And that's how everything goes in Joomla, right? You think, oh, here's a different way to do it. Now, instead of applying these to all these individual pages each time, I can just apply it to an area. And once again, you're doing these little translations that will make a difference just for a small segment, but you're not converting your entire site to be multilingual. All right. In fact, we'll just leave that with that hunt and pen, selecting those two articles. So I'm going to save that. But when we're on this Welcome Spanish Speakers page here, notice that the menu is not translated. Home, giveaways, Joomla tutorials, newsletter. So we could actually start to change a lot of things just only on these particular pages. So let's go, how do you say Joomla tutorials in Spanish? Joomla tutorials. Okay. This will be a good test because we're going to call this tutorials to Joomla. Okay. Let's go to ReReplacer. Something that might happen here is that when I mouse over Joomla tutorials, the URL is Joomla-tutorials. When we click on that, up here, it goes to Joomla-tutorials. Now, I'm going to replace Joomla space tutorials, so that won't interfere with the URL, which is the link here. ReReplacer. All right, so let's go here. Joomla tutorials. Whoops. ES. I'm going to save as a copy. That saves me having to remove the brackets there. So I put the Spanish in here. And then I type in here, Joomla tutorials. Now, notice this. I have Joomla tutorials in capitals here. But I also have on this page here, it says Joomla tutorials with a small t. All right. So if I'm really trying to, if I replace Joomla tutorials everywhere on this particular page, it would put a capital T there, which is maybe what you don't want. But this isn't one of the Spanish pages, so I'm not going to worry about that. We'll go back to ReReplacer. So replace Joomla tutorials with tutorials, the Joomla. I apologize to Spanish-speaking people. It's already saved to those two pages, or assigned to it. So we'll save it. And we'll go back here and we'll click back. And we'll wait for that page to refresh. And now look at only for Spanish speakers, log on this particular page, Welcome Spanish Speakers. Now that link is tutorials, the Joomla. And when you click on it, it still opens up the English page. But it is a way of just on the fly translating. Now notice, I did not have to create a separate menu with Spanish words and assign it to only this particular template or these particular pages. We're really using ReReplacer or just on the fly re-replacing some of the common things on this page that we want. Now, if your Spanish area or your other language area is growing, you can always create a unique menu that has only Spanish links, and you could put in the Spanish titles. And of course, those links would open up the Spanish areas, the categories, the pages, the things that you're making. But of course, once you're getting well into that point, maybe you want to consider going with a fully bilingual site or multilingual site. And that is something you'll have to decide, where you might realize, man, I'm getting so many re-replacers happening here and so many different things happening. It's getting too complex. It's time for me to make this a full-blown multilingual site. That's up to your decision. But just to show you that whatever you've got happening here in menus or anything appearing in the HTML, you can change to Spanish. Let's do another fun one here. Let's do basicjoomla.com is not affiliate with nor endorsed by Joomla Project. We'll copy that. Go to ReReplacer. We'll call this disclaimer. Footer disclaimer. We're going to search for that whole long text. Now let's get the translation of it. And there it is. In fact, we can just copy with this little button here. Go back. We'll paste that in. And we'll go save. And we will go replace. Now, by creating that one thing We see way down at the bottom. Just let me check my camera view here. Yeah, way down at the bottom. Oops, let's zoom in here. Scroll down. Way down at the bottom, here is the Spanish, and it's being replaced. This is a really cool way to just simply replace language strings on a few. Let's go Control-0. To replace language strings on a few pages without having to go and create extra modules in different languages, so that you have a more. You're avoiding a lot of work in order to translate a little area of your site, and eventually you'll reach the point possibly where your site may grow to the point where you want to go full multilingual. But in the case of my client, and in the case of maybe some other applications, if you only needed a couple pages in another language, this is a great way to do it. So as a reminder, in the Spanish login module, you could also have a logout option to go to a different redirection URL instead of just the main one for the page. Now, of course, then it starts to get a little more complex there, because what you would want to do is have a logout module appear somewhere in Spanish for them to use if they want to log out, and assign that module only to your Spanish pages or the Spanish category. But again, here's some core methods to do that. I think that explains the basics of what I wanted to show today. An easy way to make another language area, just a small one, for your site if you don't need to go full-blown multilingual. So if there's anything else that we can play around with, do here, definitely put it in chat. We will continue to hang out and chat now, as we usually do, talk about this and other things. But if that's all that you're here for, thanks for watching. I do hope that this was helpful. And I hope that if you've not subscribed yet, that you will do so. Subscribe to the channel, ring the bell to get notifications, and shoot this video a like so that Google knows, so that YouTube knows that it was appreciated and others might appreciate it. So for those of you that are not hanging around any longer, thanks for watching. Enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless. And for those of you that are still hanging around, welcome and thanks for hanging out. I had a lovely breakfast meeting with some former colleagues this morning and current colleagues from my last job, and I had rye toast and a lovely plate of 8 pieces of bacon. So it's a nice, comfortable day here. I think I had okay sleep, so I'm having a good day. I hope you guys are having a good day as well. Let's switch back here, because I should probably undo some of this now, because I don't need it on my site. Unpublish. Let's unpublish those pages that I just made. And unpublish them. I will leave the ReReplacer item in there. ReReplacer is really cool. Let's take a look at some of the other things that you can do in ReReplacer. And again, we're looking at the Pro version. In fact, why don't we look at the free version right now? I've got that over here in this site. We'll log in. Components, ReReplacer. There it is. I don't know why I made this one here, but notice here I created a tag square custom to, or square bracket custom to square bracket, and it was replacing with some text. That must be from another tutorial. But here in the free version, you can use regular expressions for when to search and replace. In your search field there, use new line modifier. When this modifier is used, a dot meta character dot in the pattern matches all characters, including new lines. All right, that's something different. Case sensitive, we talked about that earlier. So if you want to replace Joomla tutorials with a capital J, capital T, and only when tutorials is a capital T, you could say yes. Thorough. If selected, the search will also replace new matches created by the replacement. Do not use this if your replacement always creates a new match. If you do anyway, replacer will not do the replacement for that match 100 times. Oh, we'll only do it 100 times and then move on to the next match. I guess that makes sense, that if you replace something and or if it's something that ReReplacer has replaced and it falls into this, then it'll keep doing it. You could get caught in an endless loop. And strip wrapping paragraphs. Select to always remove paragraph tags, directly wrapping the search string. All right, so if there was a paragraph tag and you were searching for things, you could strip that, and if that's in your way. Search areas, you can enable it everywhere or only in contents and articles, components, head not in body, body not in head, or everywhere. And so, in fact, I probably should have selected before just contents and articles. And then you have the other options. The replacement will only be done in the content, title, and author name of the articles. So again, if you want to avoid, now actually this wouldn't have worked because if I only did content, it wouldn't have done replacing in the menu. So we wouldn't want that. So in that case, I would have just selected body. Anywhere in the body part of the site, it will replace it. Do you want re-replacements happening in the admin? And do you want to enable them in edit forms? Do you want, so in edit forms where things are being edited in the front end. Not quite sure what that is. Anyways, it's an option there. If you know what it is and you need to use it, then it's there. And of course, then there's your publishing assignments. They're only available in Pro. So the publishing assignments, and then also in the search areas, the last 4 are options that only the Pro offers. And so we could go back to this site here. And so we could look at search areas. So the last 4, you have the option of starting between, only between start, take place only between the given HTML code. This only works if both the start and the end field are entered. So if you want to, here's an example. If you want to replace X by Y between 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, then you would put in 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. You would put in 1, 2, 3 XXX. Oh, you would put in 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. So the example here is, let's say, if I want to replace, what would an example of that be? Let's say I only want to replace, it does HTML, I'm pretty sure. So let's say I only want to replace things that are heading 1. So if I go H1 and H2, and then heading 1, I could actually have it do the find and replace only in something that is in between H1 and H1 ending closing tag. So in the case of a title that's basic Joomla tutorials and it has the capital T's, and I don't want to bother creating a second instance where it doesn't replace it, where it's basic Joomla tutorials with the small t, I would then say only do this in the heading ones because that's only in those titles. So that's something, an advantage of the Pro version. Enable and HTML tags. If enabled, the replacements will also be done within HTML tags. You can also choose to do the replacements only within tags. This regards the actual tags, not what is being between an open and close tag. All right. Hey, let me just change screens here for a second, because you hear that tapping there, and that is because I have another program open, Slack, and I need to make myself be offline for a while. How do I do that? Maybe I do that over here. Oh, set the status, set yourself to away. And I'm away for now. There is a way I can put a timer on that, but I will leave that later on. Okay. So enable HTML tags. This regards the actual tags, not what is between an open and close tag. So enabling an HTML tag means that I could search for H1 and replace it to H2. Or let's say you had someone that had gone crazy with H6 tags, and you just didn't want any of them for now appearing on the site until later on you replace them or redesign them, because you could replace them in DB Replacer. That replaces in the database. That's from Regular Labs. You can actually find and replace inside the tags. Or yeah, so it's interesting, as this with many things on Regular Labs extensions. There's a whole bunch of different ways to do things. Doing a database replacer to change things permanently is great, but maybe you want to do something temporary. I don't know. And limit to tag selection. If enabled, the replacements will only be done within selected tags and tag parameters. Otherwise, searches will be done within all tags. So if you're searching and if you enable it in tags, you can limit it to certain tags and that you would put there. All right. Let's suppose that you inherited a site that had a lot of manual tags entered in that needed to be corrected, and the only way that you could do it was to replace them quickly, and then you'd still have to go through and manually do things. Then that's a great option. And then publishing assignments, which we saw was not available in the free version. Let me switch back here. Whoops. So we were just looking back here at this limit to tag selection. Publishing assignments, just like everything in Advanced Module Manager or Advanced Template Manager that Regular Labs does, you can assign these re-replacers to only do it on certain menu items. In which case, if you had a Spanish menu item and you're redirecting, you could just assign that in one place. Look at that. You've got only on certain dates. So you could actually set up different things to appear in the Spanish version based on date or seasons or months or days of the week or time. Languages, if you have multi language stuff set up. Now, Joomla content, we saw that. Page types, look at that. What page type do you have? Could be content, archive, article. Looks like some language strings happening in there. Categories or articles. And within articles, you could have this translate on any page that happened to have a certain word on it, or meta keywords in it. Or you could actually do a re-replacer on certain sites. On pages by certain authors. Then you've got tags and user group levels and users, components, templates. The URL. You can include something that just has part of the URL. You can use regular expressions for searching the URL. Just crazy stuff. Devices, operating system, browsers, IP addresses, continents, countries, regions, postal codes, custom PHP. And then you can also look at this. You've got this else. So you set up this search. If you see this, replace it with this. As long as it's on this page. Otherwise, if it's on any other page, replace it with this. Just crazy stuff. Anyway, so that's that's a look at the Pro version of ReReplacer, and it's a cool extensions that lets you do some cool stuff. Alrighty then. Anything else that we can chat about or look at, or anything you want to share that you're working on out there? Let's get me back to my page here to see what we are viewing. In the meantime, let's see if there's anything else. Otherwise, we can wrap it up. If you have any, thanks everybody. I think we're up to 1,466 subscribers on this channel, which is really cool. It's just growing a little bit at a time, but that is great. I do not see anything popping up in chat, so hopefully you are all busily working away on your sites, and you are killing it today. Catching up and getting it done. That's Chat on right. There it is. Everybody, thanks for your support of this channel. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, listen, check out Monday's Maintenance Monday live stream. We not only covered the topic, which was, what the heck was the topic? What did we see? Oh, anyways, whatever that topic was, it was a good topic. But what I'm remembering is, what I'm remembering is we had a great chat afterwards. We took a look at a number of things, and we looked at changing names on a YouTube channel. We also looked at some language stuff. We looked at some J2 store stuff. Anyways, it was really, really good. And we also talked about cache. Site cache Lite or something. I have the links right here. Let me just see here. Light speed cache. We were taking a look at that, what's needed on a server, but also what might work on a Joomla site. So Brian's just listening. He says it's been a hard day. Well, good, Brian. I'm not glad that you had a hard day, but I'm all for you just hanging out listening. That's part of what the channel's here for too. Johan has put a link here. Let's see. Let's also switch back to the screen here. It's a link to an extension. So let's look at the view here. And it's use HTML code in the title. BR, for example. That's pretty cool. Joom Mega Extensions. Joomla does not allow use of special styles in its article titles. We're limited to using plain text only. Fortunately, it's pretty easy to work around this limitation if you use JMG Extended Title plugin. Cool. So here you go. You can put a BR tag in there. Okay, square bracket BR. And that will give you a line break. Oh, that's really nice in the case of long titles. Nice. So do they have, I guess we could see how this would work. Let me get a hold of this URL right now. I need to copy and paste these a lot quicker so I don't end up, one day I ended up with the chat open on my computer from a live stream for 2 days, meaning to go through and get all the links out of it. So that is cool. It still could mess up formatting again, but so do long titles breaking in the wrong way. Write your review on Jed. Let's see if they have a demo. There's the demo. I just like to see a line break in it, but that's cool. It says free. Buy now. We can try it. Sorry, when I saw buy now, I thought it was for price, but all right, let's go here. View cart and check out. It's mainly main and subtitle. Okay, let's see. Continue shopping. This is free. I'm gonna get to create a profile, which I don't mind doing. First name, Tim. That's my last name. Email address. I will use my Gmail address. I use my Gmail address because it's much more forgiving when it comes to confirmation links than using the emails attached to my domain, like tim@cybersalt.com or tim@basicjoomla.com. And even though those are on my server and I have control over it, every now and then something gets hung up. So I just use cybersalt@gmail. It's also much easier too if someone starts spamming me, I can just delete those mails or whatever. The rest here, I mean, you guys are ingenious enough to figure out what my address is, but I will not type it online. Why make it easier? If you want my home address, contact me on Facebook. I'm happy to let you know where I live. All right. Victoria, BC. And Canada. Pick a password. I'm going to go LastPass here. And I'll generate a secure password. I will copy Getting a little more familiar with LastPass. I'm going to place that order. And I'm going to be asked if I want to save that password. I do. I can thank you for your order. Log into your account. And let's see. There it is. Oh, I have no items in my shopping account. Oh, let's go log in. And look at my account. And extensions, modules. Okay, I gotta figure out how to download this now. Plugins. Oh, all right. So now I can switch back here. Now that I'm logged in, everything that is free is available for me to download. So extended title is what we're playing around with today. Let's download. And there it is. Download it. And let's put that in my little folder, where I put things in Joomla. And that's there. Let's go open. And now we're going to go extensions, manage, install. Let's close these other things that I've got open here. And we're going to upload the package file. We're going to zip that over to there. Let's try that again. There we go. It'll take this time. Come on now. Let's refresh this. Oh, let's see here. I was not dragging over the zip file. That's what the problem was. I was actually dragging over the folder within it. There we go. There's the zip file. Let's go to extensions and plugins. I'm going to search by the ID at the right-hand column for the highest number. And there it is. I'm going to enable it. Save and close. Now, let's do something freaky with this. Let's go to home. Oh, that's the title of the most... Well, oh, look at that. This is code that I have on my site to show the most recent YouTube video. And that's the one that is live today, but it's showing as unpublished. Now let's just see if we can watch. But it's showing as unpublished. Oh, we're going to get a good echo here. Let's just see if we can watch. But it's showing as unpublished. Oh, we're going to get a good echo here. Anyway, so I have this code here that shows the most recent YouTube video on a channel automatically. But we don't have a title there. So let's go to giveaways. And where we have basic Joomla tutorials monthly giveaway. So if we go to content and articles. And filter for monthly. And go in here. Following the example, we go basic Joomla tutorials, square bracket, BR. I think it was capital BR, but let's try small BR. Whoops, and square bracket. Save that. And now we can refresh this page. Nope, small BR did not work. Probably has to be a big BR. Okay. Shift BR. Okay, save. Refresh. There we go. So it has to be a capital BR. But there you go. Basic Joomla tutorials, monthly giveaway. Now that is pretty cool. So we could have just a bit of fun. Johan, thanks for showing this. This is fun. Let's do this. Control copy. Control V. Control V. Control V. Now if we save that, let's put a whole bunch of line breaks in there. Jam extended. Oh, so yeah, we're going to refresh this. Very cool. Very, very cool. Now, along the lines of ReReplacer, that means you could also put tags in ReReplacer. That would be another way that you could replace that. Why don't we just have some fun and try that? But this is certainly a much easier way to do it. First of all, let's go to versions. And I made some changes. So let's revert to the last saved one, which is July 31st. Whoops. Yep. Check that. Restore. The title stays the same. Did the cache? No, we still need to clean the cache and refresh. So using the Pro, and there you go, that fixes the title. So using the Pro version of ReReplacer, I do not know how to do this, but you could actually set up a ReReplacer so that anytime a title was longer than 20 characters, that it would replace the space with a BR somewhere within the title page, title tag, and automatically wrap it. That's a cool thing. I know you can do. I wouldn't know what the regex would be, but that's definitely something that I know that you could do. But you could basically put anything that you want in a title and replace it. You could also do a find and replace in the title tag using DB replacer and automatically put codes in for that breaking in all of your longer titles. So, but that's really cool. Let's take a look at. Yeah, Johan, it would break words, except in the regex, what you would do is you would find. You would have to tell it to replace, not put in the break after so many characters, but find the line break, find the spaces in the title up to a certain point, and then replace the last one or something. It would require a crazy regex, and Peter Van Westen would be able to do it. He's done some crazy stuff on this channel. But you're right. You don't want to just count how many characters there are and then put in a line break, because you would break the words. Let's take a look at what else Joomla Mega has. Let's look at their modules. Get your team page created, a versatile Joomla plugin for team, and it is $2.70 if I read that right. Quotation, a WhatsApp button, multimedia tiles, compose, manage, publish impressive multimedia content. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. Parallax, a parallax one, yeah. Parallax is when you're scrolling, and I believe this is right. You have an image, but then as scrolls, like a space scrolls up past the image. Animated article title. Bring your Joomla article title to life. Put in any module position, and that's interesting. Let's check that out. Bring your Joomla article title to life. Put it in any module position and animate it. JMG animated title is a Joomla module that adds CSS3 animation to your article title because static content is boring. If you use JMG image hover, please post a rating. All right, so let's see here. Let's see where there's a. Let's see if there's a demo somewhere. That's the animated article title. Let's go to the JED. And let's go and search for animated article. There it is there. So we'll search on it. And there's demo. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, there's an error there. Article not found. Okay. But that is a cool idea to add an animation to article titles. Cool. And $3.50. Where is this company located? Accept the cookies. What do we got up here? There you go. Look, I turned that off and it's still making noise. Okay, I set my status here on, hold on for a sec here. Let me change this view to full screen chat on the right. My status is status. Oh, there you go. I'm in a meeting for an hour. All right. There we go. Hopefully that will stop things. Edit status, clear profile, set yourself to active. And, but I've got a status. Yeah. All right. Now I can change that back. All right. Right computer screen. And we were looking to see, where is this company located? Go down the bottom. Press some product support. Press some privacy policy. Data. Okay, this looks okay. Somewhere in Europe, but we don't see an address for where they are. Interesting though. Some cool stuff there. Sticky sidebar module, mind map. What's a mind map? Customer example. Oh, now there's something that is not working anymore. All right. Bunch of things to check out here. It's German. Okay, Brian, thanks. I did not want to pick the wrong language and offend someone. What else we got happening here? We got modules, and then those are the professional ones. And then you have plugins, which we looked. So article video. This Joomla plugin allows you to use article videos. I wonder what is an article video? Video is easy enough to embed into articles, but with this plugin, you're simply being able to select the video to the main image position. Okay, so it looks like they add a tab, and then you can pick YouTube and the ID and the width, and it will just put it right in there. Cool. Which is something you could also do with custom fields. You could create an area where someone could put in a YouTube ID, and then the video would just show up. But that's a neat way too, just to set that up. YouTube video, and it would automatically wrap that way. Like that. These are some fun little practical ones. Disable Google jQuery. That removes unnecessary jQuery references to the Google API. Here is according to General Data Protection Regulation in German. So this is something for loading of a YouTube video requires the consent of the user. After installing, the plugin adds opt-in functionality to YouTube frames, and the video will only be sent to the browser if the visitor accepts it. Your videos will be GDPR compliant. All right, so there's a great, for those of you that are in the EU and you don't want to go to prison, there you go. So disable Google font, and here's an admin notification tool. All right, so that's plugins, components. What do we have there? Creative buttons, forms. JMG look around is an easy to use consultant locator component for Joomla. Oh, that's cool. And a menu card and event management extension. Let's take a look at look around. Let your customers find your stores, branches, consultant, dealers, in any types of locations. That's right. So to use consultant locator. So if you want to put in locations of customers or branches or consultants or dealers, you can make a map. All right, let's go write your review on the JED, which means we can go here and see if they have a demo just to see how that looks. And the demo takes you to the page, so we don't see a working example. So that could be yeah, that would be helpful to see before buying. Well, let's see, no reviews. Of course, it may be new. Oh, and they also have templates. template responsive. So they have one. So maybe this is fairly new. It's why they don't have the demos up. But release your design. Here's the template. And their options and gradients. So they've got some things in there. Configure your area heads. So, okay. So they sort of have their own template system happening there too. What about their social media? Hit the follow us. Let's see what their Facebook page looks like. Joomla. No, that's for sharing. Where is leave? Do they have a Facebook page or something set up? I don't see one. Anyway, some really cool, some fun plugins, especially something little and practical like putting that line break in the title. I will definitely pop over and tell them that we were by. All right. Thanks, Johan. Thanks for sharing that. That's pretty cool. Anyone else got anything cool like that? Or that was just in the nick of time. I was just about to pull the plug on this stream. Otherwise, maybe we'll wrap it up there. Oh, no. See, I'm still getting stuff. Oh, me, oh my. You can use any HTML code, you believe, in the title, you mean, Johan? Instead of just BR, you can use other things? Is that what you were referring to? In the meantime, even though we're right at the end here, I gotta figure out this thing here. What have I done? Okay, so I'll use any HTML code in square brackets in the title. That's cool. Why don't we try that? Yeah, that's something we could do. Yeah, let's test that right now. First of all, let me figure out how I can... I got my status here, which is saying that I'm in a meeting. All right. And I can set myself to away. But yeah, I'm looking here trying to cut down on that. Maybe I'll just sign out. Who the heck knows? Who the heck knows? Oh boy. I'm sure that you have all experienced this, that there are just so many ways, so much software to learn how to use on all these little chat things. All right, so let's go here, right? All right, so let's go back and test this. Let's go into this article, Basic Joomla Tutorials Monthly Giveaways. What is another tag we could try in here besides BR? We could try square strong. I wonder if that would do it. Let's try that. Nope. Strong is not one. Although, would we need a closing strong? Which would be /strong. Square bracket. Nope. I wonder if we could use let's try this. BR. Oh, maybe it has to be all capitals too, though, right? Let's go that. STRONG. Of course, heading 2 might already be strong, or heading 1 or whatever that is. Let's try that. Nope. Let's try center. Center. And let's also put in a square BR. Save. And go enter. The BR worked, but the center did not. Let's try one last thing here. See, BR stands by itself. It doesn't need a closing tag. So, therefore, anything that's got a closing tag is not going to work. What if we did a P for a paragraph and save that? We would see a bigger jump, would we not? Nope. It looks like it's BR. And save. That looks like what it is. There you go. You know, that looks like, oh, and look at that. What is that? Oh, basic Joomla tutorials. That got big all of a sudden. Right? How did that get so big? Interesting. I thought that was small before. This is actually a good example where I could put in the BR, Basic Joomla Tutorials monthly giveaway. I'll consider that. All right. We tried. But it's a free, fun little thing that will just do it. And that is great. No, I don't think it's the cache because it has been changing. I could clean the cache here. And let's go here and go Control, Shift, and R. See if we make it go back to small. Nope. I thought for sure that it was small. That it wasn't that big. But it is a title, so... Well, maybe I'm confusing it with something else that we replaced when we were doing the Spanish stuff. Maybe. Anyways, pretty cool. It's a tool that is there. And of course, ReReplacer, you could set up a more complicated version to look in the location and the tags, the title tag, or whatever tag this is. What is this? F12, element inspector. Yes, so the title here is H2 item prop equals headline. So that's the tag you'd set up. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, Johan, you remembered that way too. Because it's definitely showing as a H2 now. Anyways. That's probably don't need to put too many other tags in there anyways. But the line break, that's practical for that spot. Yeah, who knows what maybe when I revert it back to a previous version. I don't mind having it big like that too. It isn't an awfully big title though, when you think about it. Especially with the menus here. Anyways, everybody, I think that will be it. My bacon and toast are winding up. And my blood is telling me it's time to put something heavier into me before I crash. So, thanks for hanging out. And come on, let's get that chat on the right-hand side. There we go. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out today. Let me show you that little thing I did for translating a page and making a little area. I hope that was helpful. Maybe even if it's not just for that, even just seeing ReReplacer in use in another way is something that can help with things. Maybe something else you're doing. Because after all, Joomla, it's all together. And our little community here on the channel is something that I'm learning tons from. And I think I see us learning things off of each other and learning things on the stream. So that is very, very rewarding and good. So I will continue on having a great day because this was great. Johan, yes, bye-bye. Others that are here, Brian, I hope you have a great evening. Good rest tonight. And that tomorrow was not as rough a day. And for everybody else who's been there watching or lurking, you are always welcome to just watch or lurk and listen. That is an acceptable application of this channel as well. Give the video a like if you watched it just to this point. That'll help others get it. And I appreciate all that you do and all that you are. So until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites and God bless.